during the 2021 season? Will the defense improve after ranking 28th in the league in points allowed per game last year? How will Ezekiel Elliott do? Zeke is coming off a season where he posted career lows in rushing yards and yards per rush as he enters his 6th season with the Cowboys. And how will Dak Prescott bounce back from his injury? Prescott suffered a dislocated and fractured ankle last year that forced him to miss the final 11 games of the season. Here's Dak on playing in the preseason.
I definitely want to play. As far as giving you a number or a quantity of how much I need to, I just want to obviously get back out there, get some reps before it's real. Just to have a live defense coming at me. Hopefully not take too many licks because I've got great protection, but that's part of the game, and I think that would be great to obviously get up from that, wipe it off, and just be another process, I said, of bearing the injury, obviously. And I think it will be huge.
Acho, should Dak play in the preseason?
Y'all see my head shaking like this? Dak, do not play in that preseason. Let me tell y'all a quick story. August 27th. 2017, Cameron Meredith, Chicago Bears. He was an up-and-coming future superstar wide receiver, and he tears his MCL in the preseason. You want to know what happens in August? Not real games, preseason games that don't count. Dak, I love your mentality. I love the way you're leading your team. You've come back from injury. I love everything about you. I believe in you. But don't go back out there in the preseason in games that don't count and even risk getting injured. You'll be able to get the kinks out. You'll be able to get better as the season gets on. You can be protected in your practice. And I think your coaches are smart enough not to put you out there as well. But Dak, please don't play in the preseason. You're going to help lead your team to some major victories this year. And the victories do not happen. Trust me, they don't happen in August.
Hey, Dak Prescott, you see my head shaking? Yeah, you should play in the preseason because I'm going to go count what Sam just said. And believe me, you know this better than I do, Sam and Booger, that injuries can happen. They can happen in practice. They can happen in preseason games. They can happen in regular season games. But if you're Dak Prescott, you're going to be on the pitch count anyway in preseason practice. Just going out there, even for a couple of plays, even for a couple of series, and then just get him out of there. But being out there just leading his team from a psyche standpoint, not so much his psyche, but his team's psyche, having him out there. We're not saying that Dak Prescott's going to play all 4 games in preseason or every snap in the preseason. That's not what I'm suggesting. But they're just not having played any preseason games after not playing any preseason games last year because of the pandemic. Sam, I hear you, brother, shaking your head like this, but Dak, you should play a couple of preseason games just to get the feel out there of leading your team onto the football field for your psyche, but more importantly for their psyche as well.
You think Dak needs that feeling? So Dak had no preseason last year. You know what he did in his first 4 games? You know how dominant he was?
I know how dominant he was.
He was on pace to set new records for the Dallas Cowboys.
Sure.
He was on pace to set new records for the Dallas Cowboys. Number one. That's number one. Number two, because I believe Dak is probably at the Star right now in Frisco watching this. If you're not at practice, in the training room watching. Dak, I played in the league for 9 years. Trust me, you don't want to be in that preseason. I get that some players who need to prove themselves want to play in the preseason games. But there's a reason, and no disrespect, Freddie, I don't mean that as disrespect. I'm just saying, you don't need it. Dak, you don't need it. There are certain players who do need the preseason. I get it. They want to prove themselves. They want to show what they can do. They want to make the team. They want to make the roster. Dak, you've proven everything you've needed to prove to everyone. And so, yes, I understand you want to get the kinks out. I get it, but there's an extra game. Trust me, there's 17 games this year. You don't need 1, 2, or 3 preseason games. You don't need a drive. You don't need a series. You don't need a snap. Dak Prescott, better yet, not even Dak, because Dak wants to play. The coaches of the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore. Kellen's a homie of mine. We played against him in Boise State, did some award ceremony stuff. Kellen, don't play Dak. Mike McCarthy, don't play Dak. Give your team a chance to go compete.
I like it, Sacho. We reached the name-dropping phase of First Take this morning. Keep dropping them out there, Big Gabe. I love it. As far as Dak Prescott in the preseason, listen, man, no one wants to play in the preseason. Not any player walks in the training camp saying, man, I can't wait till preseason week 2, man. I'm going to show y'all. Nobody wants to do it. But the reason a lot of people do it, especially your stars, is to get your timing and to get your rhythm down. So should Dak play? Probably not, but he needs to get out there and go through 5 or 6 plays, get the adrenaline going. Doesn't mean he's got to drop back and take off running. How about 3 or 4 nice handoffs, maybe a drop back and throw the ball on the third step, just throw a deep ball. Get your rhythm, get your timing. Do not put your quarterback in harm's way. As an offensive coordinator, you can call plays where you know 100% that your quarterback is going to get rid of the ball in less than a second. And so I don't see anything wrong with that because here's the one thing you don't want. You don't want Dak Prescott to go out there week one trying to knock the cobwebs off and knock the rust off. You want to make sure he's ready to go. And the only way you do that is he's got to go through that adrenaline, get that body rolling, get ready to get out there, and knowing that the game of football is going to be played. And here's what I mean by that. Football is a physical game that's played that I know that at any moment somebody could hit me upside my head and knock my block off. You can't get that at practice in Oxnard, California. You can't get that in practice anywhere. The only time you're going to get that is when you walk out of there between those white lines and you know it's real football. He's got to feel that adrenaline and feel what that feels like. Even though, as an offensive coordinator, I know I'm going to call plays where he doesn't get hit. As a football player, I still have that mindset that I'm in a real game and it could happen. He needs to feel that.
Booger, let me ask you a quick question. What kind of football player are you? Yes, first round pick. Yes, dominant. But you play defense. You're getting after the quarterback. What kind of football player am I? Yes, fourth round pick. I wasn't as dominant as you in so many ways, but I have my 9 years in the league. I play defense. I need to get that hit, that feel. The NFL is protecting quarterbacks for a reason. We all saw what happened last year when Dak got hurt. We all saw what happened. The Cowboys went like this. Everybody was shaking their head like, I don't want to watch these games. Every single one of us saw it. And so, yes, I get it. You know, get ready, put your pads on, all the things. And if you want to compromise, because I understand people love to compromise, the only compromise I'll make is this. Get ready, coaches. Tell him he's going to play. Tell him he's going to do the thing. Tell him to get ready, get his pads on, pregame warm-up routine. First snap, right before you snap the ball. Call timeout. Call timeout. Get that man off the field. Trust me. Trust me. Well, there's no chance. There's no need to risk anything. I give him a quarter in the first game. Give him a half to get the cobwebs out. I'm not tripping. Cowboys will be fine.
They'll be fine, but they'll be a lot better to Booger's point. You have them on a pitch count. I mean, although that'd be pretty funny, like Dak right before the ball gets snapped, he calls a timeout. That would go viral instantly if he decided to do what Sam Acho's thinking that he should do. But Sam, you're right. He doesn't have a lot to prove. He doesn't have anything to prove. You're right when it comes to Dak Prescott. But this is about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys trying to find that rhythm in terms of, man, we were in a great rhythm before he got injured last year. We're not asking him to go out there and, okay, we're going to run a RPO in a preseason game. Nobody's going to ask him to do anything like that. If you're Dak Prescott, they ask you to do that, you raise your hand and say, there's no way I'm doing that. But just to be out there from a psyche standpoint, from an organizational standpoint, that's why he should play in the preseason. He should play in the 2 preseason games, 3 at the most, and then that's it. You sit him in the final preseason game. But I think that to Booger's point, they haven't played game 1 of the NFL regular season, 17 games, and not have preseason action. I do not believe that's a good idea for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas has missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, but Vegas has them as the favorite to win the NFC East, which we know is always up for grabs every season.